Hello everyone, Andrew Pfluger here with Cash for RC and RC Sports. This video is a deeper dive into the background of RC Sports, as well as a look ahead into the future of what kind of events we'll be holding here, and what makes us different from other hobby shops and tracks you may have visited. This is going to be a little bit long and expository, kind of like a podcast or audiobook. Not all the information I'm about to share will necessarily pertain to your area of interest. So if you want to skip around, check out the post where you're viewing this video or the video description down below, and use the timestamps to skip to the section that you are interested in. Or you can click the link there to find all of this information in written article form. So without further ado, let's dive into it.
RC Sports is a brand new RC events center built and operated by the people behind Cash for RC, the world's largest buyer and seller of used RC cars and equipment. RC Sports is a 5,000 square foot event center featuring a 50 by 30 carpeted competition space, 35 large multi-level pit tables, a massive 30-foot driver stand, Rockville PA audio system, a retail store, mini crawler area, driving simulator gaming area, concessions and dining/spectator area, TVs for spectating and viewing lap times, men's and women's restrooms, and more. Participants and attendees will also have access to Cash for RC's inventory of over 3,500 RC items and the ability to sell RC cars to Cash for RC on site. The mission of RC Sports is to grow and support a local community of RC hobbyists and give those hobbyists a place to gather and enjoy radio control cars in a fun, casual environment. Our first public event is an open house on March 15th at 6:30 p.m., with regular event scheduling to begin shortly after. My name is Andrew Pfluger, and I am the owner of Cash for RC and RC Sports. I was born and raised in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and ever since I was very young, I've been a super fan of full-size short-course off-road racing. When Traxxas became involved with the Torque series back in 2008, I was introduced to radio control cars, and I knew I had to have one. I was quite young at the time, and my nickels and dimes I was saving weren't adding up fast. But fortunately, my parents stepped in and got me a Traxxas Slash for Christmas that year, forever changing the course of my life. I quickly developed a passion for RC cars, and my favorite pastime became designing and building race courses in my parents' yard. A couple of my friends had RC cars as well, which helped to cement lifelong friendships. But I yearned for more people to come and race on the tracks I poured my heart and soul into. My dream was to be an RC track owner and to host races. At the time, the local hobby shop industry was going through some of its darkest days, and a large percentage of tracks were closing their doors, including the one I had raced at. I knew that if I was ever going to own an RC track, it would have to be supported by an independently successful business. So at age 13, I began to buy and sell RC car items online, innovating ways to bring parts to hobbyists for cheaper than the going rate. It was my mission to make the hobby cheaper for people so that more folks could get in and stay in the game. It was this mission and experimentation that eventually became Cash for RC. Today, Cash for RC is the world's largest buyer and seller of used RC cars, currently selling over 25,000 items per year and employing 8 part-time employees in Seymour, Wisconsin. Cash for RC makes it possible for hobbyists to sell their RC cars quickly and easily, and provides a trusted source for used RC components at a fraction of the new price. At last, with Cash for RC as the backbone of the operation, I am able to return to my original dream of building a place for people to gather and enjoy RC cars and racing, and I could not be more excited. RC Sports' main purpose is to provide the space and means for people to gather and enjoy the RC hobby and RC races and sporting events in a fun, casual environment. Our secondary purpose is to help folks get started in the hobby by way of our small retail store in the event space, tailored to beginners on a budget. The RC Sports Event Center will also serve as the outreach and public branch of Cash for RC, making our inventory locally available for the first time, as well as providing a physical location for hobbyists to sell their RC cars to Cash for RC. RC Sports is not a full-service traditional LHS, local hobby store. Please approach our facility and events with an open mind as things will be quite different here by design. Experienced hobbyists and beginners alike should take note of the following differences to know what to expect and not expect from RC Sports. RC Sports does not carry a full selection of RC cars and parts from all the mainstream brands, such as the product lineup that can be found at local Hobbytown USA stores. Our small front-end retail store will be geared towards beginners looking for the essentials. It will feature a couple popular name brand RC models that we race here, but mainly it will feature some alternative budget models that I have extensively tested and found to have exceptional value and performance. Established local and online retailers do a fantastic job carrying the full lineup of new and packaged hobby offerings, and, except for a select lineup of these items, we will be leaving that to them. However, as previously mentioned, Cash for RC's extensive inventory of over 3,500 RC items is on site and available for purchase. The inventory is ever-changing. Current offerings can be viewed on our eBay store. Please note that most of the items there are in used condition. RC Sports will not be open for regular business hours like a traditional retail store. Our public hours will be limited to scheduled events and appointments. RC Sports will not offer RC repairs, consultations, or advice/recommendations. The main reason for this is lack of time. Our busy staff must remain available for vital RC Sports and Cash for RC operational tasks in order for this endeavor to succeed. The RC hobby is full of passionate helpers, and we are hopeful and confident that our event participants will be happy to lend a hand to those in need of assistance. RC Sports events will not be limited to traditional competitive racing. While racing will be an integral part of our event lineup, we will also host a variety of fun and games style sporting events and competitions that will appeal to a different or wider audience. Additional details on planned event types can be found in a later section. Our racing events will generally not utilize the traditional qualifying format that results in racers only having one heads-up race per class per race day. Instead of time trial qualifying, race days will feature multiple land rush start heads-up heat races, and the results of these races will determine the starting order for a longer staggered start main event race. Replacing timed qualifiers with heads-up races, pitting drivers against each other competing for the win, will maximize race day fun and increase action for spectators. RC Sports will have a unique lineup of racing classes tailored heavily towards affordable models and stock classes. As has been the goal of my companies for over a decade now, we will be making this hobby cheaper for people to enter and participate in across the board. Class descriptions are to follow, and please stay tuned for the complete class rules, which I will release later on. Experienced racers will find many of the classes they are used to seeing and racing in are not on this class lineup. I do understand this will be disappointing to some, and please note that I do not make this decision lightly. I'm very hopeful that experienced racers will embrace something new and find a home in one or more of the classes that we will regularly host. Please note that all classes are still more than welcome to participate in open class racing. Details to follow. RC Sports will utilize a TrackMate infrared timing system for our RC racing events. We do own a traditional MyLapse timing system, but after careful consideration and visiting tracks using the TrackMate system, we opted to invest in a TrackMate system for our primary timing equipment. This will bring the cost of a personal transponder down from $100 to $300 all the way to $20 to $35, greatly reducing the barrier to entry for new racers. A TrackMate transponder is required in order to participate in competitive racing events at RC Sports. TrackMate transponders will be available for purchase and for rent at all events. Please note that infrared transponder technology requires a clear line of sight between the transponder and the timing stripe, so transponders should be mounted on the car under a clear part of the body, such as an unpainted windshield. Other placement may still work, but would increase the probability of missed laps. But not to worry, I have seen this system in action and it works as well as the MyLapse equipment with proper transponder placement. Presently, RC Sports plans to hold most of our racing events on weeknights. I, Andrew, travel many weekends out of the year buying RC cars for Cash for RC, which is why the weekends are generally unavailable for me. Select events will be scheduled for the weekends, and Friday night events are probable. But RC Sports will not utilize a regular Saturdays or Sundays style schedule like many established RC tracks. RC Sports reserves the right to charge for spectator admission. RC Sports aims to dramatically enhance RC racing and sporting events with exciting twists on event formats, viewable data and analytics, lights and sound theatrics, etc. It is our goal to develop a product with high spectator value, and as we make progress toward this goal, spectator admission will be introduced so that we can continue to invest in enhancing live RC events. RC Sports will host a variety of event types, from racing and sporting events to fun and games and swap meets. Below is a brief summary of the kind of events you can expect to find at RC Sports. A full event type overview document and press release with full descriptions is coming soon. RC Sports plans to regularly host 4 types of racing events. Number 1 is open practice. The course and timing system are available for use, but no organized competition is taking place. Number 2 is open class races. These are casual races run back-to-back with no preset order or class types. This is a flexible event type open to all kinds of RCs. Races that are limited to a particular class or RC type will be held in the order requested by event registrants. If no specific class race is in the queue, an open class race will be held, run what you brung. Type number 3 is competitive races. This is when standard classes will run in a predetermined order and format. Each class will race 2 shootout races and a main event race. Separate racing events will be held for off-road classes and on-road and oval classes. And finally, we have special events racing. Other racing events may include survival races, team races, enduro races, and others. In addition to racing, RC Sports will play host to a variety of non-traditional RC car competitions and events, including RC Sumo, a King of the Hill style event whereby competitors try to knock each other off of a 12-foot octagonal platform. The last car standing wins. And RC Soccer. RC Soccer takes the cars playing soccer concept of the popular video game Rocket League and applies it to RC cars. Cars drive around the playing surface, attempting to push or hit the ball into the opponent's goal. And there are a variety of other miscellaneous events and attractions that will be taking place at RC Sports. These include mini crawling, Kyosho Mini Z or Micro RC racing on a foam track, Mario Kart Live home circuit events, sim racing or FPV racing, and private events or company events. You can rent the RC Sports venue for your event. RC Sports has been hard at work assembling a group of racing classes for standard races at our events. As previously mentioned, these classes are very different from the meta classes established at traditional RC tracks around the country. In general, they require much less financial investment and customization/tuning experience than the norm. RC Sports aims to carry on Cash for RC's mission of making the hobby cheaper, more accessible, and more fun for all, and our racing classes are a direct reflection of that mission. Our classes are also designed such that multiple models can be run on both types of race days, and multiple models can actually be upgraded to be eligible for a higher race class if desired, maximizing user friendliness. To the experienced racers out there, I ask that you please approach our class descriptions with an open mind and give us a try. And don't be afraid to bring those high-end racing rigs out for open class racing events. The following is a very brief description of the classes we plan to run on regular race days. Off-road events will be held on separate days from on-road/oval events. All classes are still undergoing testing and are subject to change. Please consider this list a sneak peek. Full and finalized class descriptions and rules will be released in a separate document at a later date. Here are the 5 off-road classes. Number 1, we have Mini Stock, an entry-level class consisting of mini-budget RCs such as the Red Cat Volcano 16, Latrax Pre-Runner and Teton, etc. This class is also open to low-C Mini Bs and Mini Ts in brushed versions. Number 2, we have Mini Turbo, a performance mini class consisting primarily of WL Toys 4-wheel drive buggies and brushless low-C Mini Ts and Mini Bs. Number 3, jumping up to 1/10 scale, we have stock truck. This is a 1/10 short course truck class consisting of Traxxas / two-wheel drives with minimal modifications. At level 4, we have super truck, a 1/10 scale two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive entry-level truck class. Certain race modifications will be allowed to the two-wheel drive models that are not allowed to the four-wheel drive models. This class will be open to the / two-wheel drive and 4x4 versions, as well as the Arrma Senton Boost and 4x4 versions, ECX Torment, Losi 22S SCT, and HPI Jump Shot. And finally, we have level 5, which is buggy, the standard 17.5 turn 1/10 two-wheel drive buggy class set to roar rules. This is the largest and most competitive racing class at most indoor tracks around the country. Now for the on-road and oval classes. RC Sports will be racing on-road and oval classes on the same night. On-road classes will utilize a course with twists and turns, and oval classes will run on traditional left-turn oval-style tracks. Classes include Level 1, Mini Stock, an entry-level class consisting of mini-budget RCs such as the Red Cat Volcano 16, Latrax Rally, and similar models. This class will be open to all cars legal in the off-road mini stock class, plus a few other on-road specific models like the FMT UD 1601. At level 2, we have supercars. This is a 1/10 scale on-road class, open to Tamiya TT01 and TT02 models, as well as the Traxxas Fortec models. Level 3, we have the first of our oval classes, Mini Oval. This is a 1/18 scale oval class open to all models of 1RC dirt oval race cars. At level 4, we have Super Oval. This is a 1/10 scale oval class open to all styles of Traxxas / two-wheel drive oval racers, i.e. late model, street stock, Mud Boss, modified. We're going to race them all in one class under the Traxxas / two-wheel drive chassis platform. And finally, we have level 5, which is a drift class. This will be a casual class open to all RC models, provided they are equipped with plastic slick drift tires.
So there you have it. That is an overview of RC Sports and what we are all about. I hope this has answered some of the questions that you may have had, and that something has piqued your interest as well. I'd love to hear your feedback, so please let me know what you think in the comments below. Share our page with others and help us continue to grow the excitement. Remember that our first event is on March 15th, and I'll be sharing dates of further events very soon. Stay tuned for more updates, including full event type descriptions, full racing class rules, and more. But until then, bye for now, and thank you so much for your support. I can't wait to see you out here at RC Sports.